Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Max, am I on? Shabbat Shalom. It's not on. I don't think I have any batteries. It says it's on, but I don't hear any noise. Max, why don't I hear noise? Help me. Testing. It's not coming out. Testing. There's something funky. Hello. Ooh, that was good. Couldn't hear, and then boom, we could hear too much. Hi, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. As you can imagine, we are here to celebrate a few things tonight. One, most important, is Shabbat. But also this weekend, we are finally, if I may say that, getting to celebrate Natalia becoming bat mitzvah. I am going to tell you, I may not tell the group tomorrow, that I remember last December, she and I got ready. You were ready to lead this service. And then with the pandemic, she couldn't have her family here, she couldn't have friends, and she decided to wait. Many students chose, instead of to wait, they chose to postpone. I called it kind of like a rain out. You know, sometimes if your game gets rained out, sometimes it gets rescheduled, and sometimes it doesn't. And so she decided to reschedule. And I am so glad that she did, because the reschedule wound up allowing Natalia and me to have another year of spending time together. Although together meant on Zoom, which was okay. We had a good time doing things on Zoom. But I have to tell you that this year's worth of bar and bat mitzvah students, it's very different than it has been in the past. Even when we're practicing a lot, we don't get to practice a lot. So we are going to do a great job, and we're going to try to fake what we don't remember what we're supposed to do. So that's our theory right now. But I'm not going to lie, even though things are a year extra, and even though we are very ready, we've had a little bit of a stressful time getting things ready for today. So as you know, all the stressors are supposed to stay out of the room, out of the building. So I hope you left any stressful thing outside. It'll be there for you when you come back for it Sunday morning, let's say, or just don't come back for it. That's my secret. But right now, one of the things we always do on Friday nights is to feel the stressors of the week to go away. We take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Try again. Let it out slowly. In through your nose, out through your mouth, so that I know you're breathing. Out through your mouth, Okay, good. Now she's breathing. It's scary when I don't see her breathing. We begin our service on page 65. This is the service she chose. I hope that you are inspired by it. We will be calling up her family, her immediate family, to come help us welcome Shabbat. On page 65, our tradition here is that if you can, please rise. And there on page 65. Candles, Kiddush. Go, you're doing candles and Kiddush. We didn't practice with the family. Everything that the family gets to do, we intentionally didn't practice with them so that it makes Natalia look really good. Page 65. No, wait, start at the top of the page.
As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu mitzotav lehadlik ner Shabbat. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You hallow us with your mitzvah and command us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. bride. There be light. Let there be peace.
Let there be Shabbat.
That's great.
And we turn to page 165 or 66 or 67. We doing this in Hebrew or Hebrew and English? What do you want to do? Hebrew 165. The translation is on 166, but we're going to do this on 165. Somebody lift the cup. And we're having some technical difficulties with the sound, but you can hear us, and that's all that matters.
Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pori hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra hekodesh,
Zeker Yetziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'charta,
v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodsheha, b'ahava uv'ratzon,
in haltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
L'chaim. So I lied. They make me look bad. They look good, and they make me look bad. That's why we invited them up. That's wonderful. I love this, don't you? Watching them all sing?
Oh, I'm on.
I love this. So, exactly. So, you are very welcome to be seated, but first you have to say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with and someone you didn't come in with. Make sure everybody gets a Shabbat Shalom out of this. Everybody, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Should they stay?
And you get to stay up here and not go down because you're singing.
Yeah.
You're singing. We continue on page 66. Everybody who knows how to sing Lecha Dodi in the Murov family, that's one of your specialties. Page 66, Lecha Dodi. Now there is a tradition about standing up and looking for the bride in the back. Our congregation doesn't always do that, but if it is your tradition, it doesn't hurt our feelings if you stand up and look for the bride in the back. You want to do this?
Move that.
Oh, push it in? Okay, go for it.
The first one. You start.
Whatever she picks.
Adodi lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lehadodi lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Zamor zahor bidvror ahad, hamei shayan v'elhan v'had. Anai ahad, Shmo ahad, Shem Tiferet Eli Hala, Lehadodi lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lekrat Shabbat lechaverecha, ki lehorecha, me'osh tiken nesucha. Sof maaseh b'Shabbat tifla, lehadodi lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Orei shalom atevara, gam simcha u'tzvekala, tohem b'nei am segula, kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Thank you.
I think I saw the Sabbath bride come in, did you?
No.
We continue on to page 67.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, and of the impulse within us for justice and mercy, we pray that this hour of worship may be one of vision and inspiration. Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. All to search
and in need. All who bring to this place the offering of their hearts. May our worship here lead us to fulfill our words and intentions with acts of kindness, peace, and love.
We have come together to strengthen our bonds with our people Israel. Like Jews of generations past, we celebrate the grandeur of creation. Like Jews of every age, we echo our people's ancient call for justice.
Our celebration is a sharing of memory and hope.
We are Jews, but each of us is unique. We stand apart and alone, with differing feelings and insights. And yet we are not entirely alone and separate, for we are children of one people and one heritage.
Our celebration unites many separate selves into a single chorus.
And we are one in search of life's meaning. All of us know despair and exaltation. All bear burdens. All have moments of weakness and times of strength. All sing songs of sorrow and love. In this circle of hope, in the presence of sacred, may the heart come to know itself and its best, finding a fresh impulse to love the good.
May our celebration lead us to work for the good, and may this Shabbat. So this song, behold how good it is, how pleasant it is when brothers and sisters get to spend some time together. That's especially poignant this year. Did you move over a little bit? Yeah, sorry. This is mine. And it's especially poignant for this family because there are lots and lots of brothers and sisters in the clan here, the Muslim, the Murov clan. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad.
Many are the generations of Israel, and in every age we have sought the living God through Sabbath rest and worship. This time and place hold the power to increase our joy in the eternal. O God, even as we seek you in the sanctuary, help us to know that your glory fills all space. Make us understand that you are with us at all times, if we but open our minds to you.
And in human form, we hear you in the silence of our own hearts, speaking the truths the heart knows.
May we be your witness to the world, your messenger to all the earth.
May we show forth your image within us, the divine spark that makes us human.
Yikadal vikara shemei rabba.
Amen.
Ba'alma divra churute, v'yalmik malchute, b'chayechon uvilmechon, uvayeda ho beit Israel. Bagala, bagala, uvisman kariv, v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach, le'ala u'lamaya, yitbarach, Yitbarach, Vishtabach, Vitpa'ar, Vitroman, Vitnase, Vithadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shemei Kudisha, Brihu, Leila Minko Berchata Vishirata, Tushvehata Vanehemata, Da'amin Rama, Vimeru, Amen. Baruch et Adonai Hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
As day departs, as the dark of night descends, we lift our eyes to the heaven. In awe and wonder our hearts cry out.
Eternal God, how majestic is your name in all the earth.
A vast universe, who can know it? What mind can fathom it? We look out to the endless suns and ask, what are we? What are our dreams and our hopes? What are we that you are mindful of us? What are we that you should care for us?
And yet, within us abides a measure of your spirit. You are remote, but oh, how near, ordering the stars and the vast solitudes of the dark, yet whispering in our minds that you are closer than the air we breathe. For you have made us little less than divine, and crowned us with glory and honor. With love and awe we turn to you, and in the dark of the evening we seek the light of your presence.
Shema,
Keep going.
one and only God, you have made each of us unique and formed us to be united in one family of life. Be with us, Eternal One, as we seek to unite our lives with your power and your love.
We proclaim now your oneness and our own hope for unity. We acclaim your creative power in the universe and in ourselves, the law that binds world to world and heart to heart.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malachuto Le'olam Va'ed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shnatam levanecha v'dirta bam V'shiftecha v'techa, u'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'shochbecha, u'v'komecha, u'shartam liot al yadecha, v'hayu l'tofot beinecha, u'chtavtam al mizuzot beitecha, u'v'yisharecha, l'man tizkaru, Vasitem et kol mitzvotai, v'kem kedoshim le'elehem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeitem me'eretz Mitzrayim, v'ot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem.
You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness, a world waiting still to be redeemed, give us, O source of good, the courage to say there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and your love.
From Egypt, the house of bondage, we were delivered. At Sinai, amid peals of thunder, we bond ourselves to your purpose. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, we survived oppression and exile, time and again, overcoming the forces that would have destroyed us.
Our failings are many, our faults are great, yet it has been our glory to bear witness to our God and to keep alive in dark ages the vision of a world redeemed.
May this vision never fade. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we sing with one accord, as Moses, Miriam, and Israel sang at the shore of the sea.
Mi hamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi hamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh.
Benedetti, and it has been said, the Eternal One delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Eternal God, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up to find our hearts waiting to do your will.
We praise you, Guardian of Israel, whose love gives light to all the world.
O God of Israel, may our worship on this day help us to grow in loyalty to our covenant with you and to the way of life it demands, the way of gentleness and justice, the path of truth and peace.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Please rise for the tefillah on page 76. Adonai sifatev tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'ara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'Koner HaKol, V'Zoher Hasdei Avot V'Imot, Uvein V'Gidula Livnei V'Nehem, L'man Shemo B'Hava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor la'olam Adonai, mechayeh hakol atara v'hoshia. Mechalkel chayim b'chesed, mechayeh hakol b'rakamin rami. Tzomech noflim v'rofech olim, umatir asurim, umekayehem emunato lishnei ne'afar. Mi hamocha bal givorot, umido melach, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'emata lechayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Continue on top of the page 78. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who strive to be holy declare your glory day by day. Baruch atah Adonai El Hagadosh. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy One, Holy God.
You may be seated. Yismechu b'malachutecha, shomerei, shomerei, shomerei Shabbat, korei onei Shabbat. Mikadashei, mikadashei shvi Shabbat, kulam yismehu v'yitangu Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomerei, shomerei, shomerei Shabbat, korei onei Shabbat. V'hashvi'i ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat. Chemdat yamim Oto karata Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomerei, shomerei, shomerei Shabbat, korei onei Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh v'reishi Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh v'reishi Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomerei, shomerei, shomerei Shabbat, korei onei Shabbat. God of Israel, may our worship on this Sabbath bring us near to all that is high and holy. May it bind the generations in bonds of love and sharing, and unite us with our people in common hope and faith. And through Sabbath rest and worship, may we learn to find fulfillment and joy in the vision of peace for all the world. You are with us in our prayer, in our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, and pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answers to our prayer. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Eternal source of good, we give thanks for the numberless gifts and blessings that fill our days, for life itself and its endless variety, for all that sustains body and mind, for love and friendship, for the delights of the senses, and for the excellence of your Torah, which deepens our life and enriches our days. Teach us, God of wonders, to work for a just and compassionate society, where all may share your gifts in the joy of freedom.
Grant us peace, your most precious gift, eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the people of earth.
Bless our country, that it may always be a stronghold of peace, and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within its homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship among the inhabitants of all lands, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. We now take a moment for silent prayer, whatever is in your heart, or you may use the words that are on the bottom of page 80, top of 81. We pray silently.
May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you. Be acceptable to you.
Adonai Tzuri,
O God, my rock,
Tzuri v'goali,
my rock and my redeemer.
Adonai Tzuri,
God, my rock,
v'goali,
and my redeemer.
Amen. You can sit and rest for a second. We tried. I had to try to find a key that she could sing it in and I could sing it in. I don't know if you noticed, my trick is I try to sing higher because at the beginning of the song I have to go on my tippy toes and that's how I get higher. And I didn't tippy toe high enough. It's beautiful. She's doing a really great job. At this point in our service, our hearts and our prayers turn to those who are ill or recuperating as we turn to the inside back cover of our prayer book. If you have names that you would like us to be praying for, I invite you to call them out. I should let you know if it's the first time that you're in the sanctuary in a long time, or if you're watching online, if we don't have a mic on you, they're not going to hear you online, and we do that intentionally for this part of the service. I'm not going to call out those names for the online people, just like you're not getting to hear what they're saying, but all of our prayers are being collectively said together. So just so that you know, you're welcome to call them out here, and you can call them all out at the same time. And if you forget to call it out, you can say it later. We'll still be counting them in our prayers. Our hearts and our prayers turn to all who are ill, recuperating, dealing with consequences of COVID-19 or confinement, coping with natural disasters, which we just had some very severe ones, or the recent death of loved ones. We read together, O God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones, and may they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, the source of healing and health. Mi shebeirach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And it has become our custom to add Mishaberach for the military, police, firefighters, EMT, doctors, nurses, and veterans. Mishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu. May the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we've entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom, protecting us, or healing us in this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they've been called to serve. Give them courage to succeed and strength to persevere. May they return home safely, and let us say, Amen. At this point, we are going to change the order of things a little bit because we have a little bit of prepping to do for Natalia's presentation. So I'm going to ask Kathy to come up and tell us something about what's going on in the world while I set up for her presentation.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov to Natalia and her family. Tonight after services, Rabbi Jana invites you to join her at a Zoom Onik Shabbat. It will begin about 30 minutes after the service ends. The meeting ID is 318-861-2122, and the passcode is 18, and if you can't remember that, it's the phone number here at the temple. Details are also online. Tomorrow morning, the celebration continues when Maureen and Rick Murov invite you to join with them as their daughter Natalia once again helps lead the service and will also be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah. The service tomorrow will be followed by a Kiddush lunch hosted by the Murov family in honor of Natalia. The service will also be streamed on YouTube. We will not have Zoom Torah study tomorrow. Here's the good news. There is no religious school or Hebrew classes until the winter break is over.
You think that's good news?
Well, if I were a kid, yes. The next 2 weekends are federal holidays. Fridays, December 24th and 31st, the office will be closed. We hope you will join Rabbi Jana on Zoom for the 6 p.m. Friday evening services and Saturday morning services at 9:45 for Torah study and 11 a.m. for the regular Saturday service. Again, the meeting ID is just as I mentioned before. The Jewish Federation is hiring a new executive director. Please send suggestions to David Branis or Bethany. The Jewish Federation is also planning a trip to Israel for this February. Time is running out to make your reservations. Go to the jewishnla.org website for details. A friendly reminder that according to our bylaws, 2021 B'nai Zion dues should be paid by the end of this month. You're welcome to contact me, Ricky, or the office if you have any questions. The Benedetti Science Sisterhood flowers have been donated in honor of Natalia becoming a bat mitzvah. Shabbat Shalom and stay safe. Now, that's what I just saw. I got it.
Testing. Aha. Okay. For my Mitzvah project, I wanted to find a way to stop climate change that can really work, or at least slow it down. I found a climate change activist club and emailed the Louisiana Sierra Club. They sent me to someone who has worked to stop climate change for 40 years. Recently, Myron Katz invented a way that can more than cut in half both our electric bills and carbon footprints. He calls it CLEP. This is a video that we worked together on that I'll explain it more in depth. That will explain it more in depth. So get excited, and if the word gets spreaded, we believe that it could really slow down climate change. Hi, my name is Natalia Murov, and this is my Mitzvah project. All my life, and even more recently, I've heard about the effects of climate change. I really wanted to see if I or anyone else could do something to help stop climate change, or at least slow it down. So I emailed the Louisiana Sierra Club, and they sent me to someone who has worked to stop climate change for 40 years. Recently, Myron Katz actually invented a way that can more than cut in half both our electric bills and carbon footprint. He calls it CLEP, and I call it Customer Lowers Electricity Price. Customer lowers electricity price to slow down climate change. CLEP is a way for customers to save money on their electricity bills while slowing down climate change. To show how this works, we will use the term superpower. Buying superpower is the key idea that helps you understand how CLEP works. Superpower is power generated without an intended demand. Thus, superpower always has a very low price and minimal carbon footprint. I am going to explain why superpower has both a low price and a low carbon footprint, why it is so common, and how and when to buy superpower. Where does our electricity come from? Roughly 75% is generated by burning fossil fuels, 20% comes from nuclear power, and 5% is powered by renewable energy, such as hydro, solar, wind, and biomass. What we want to do is get rid of the fossil fuel generators and instead use 100% renewable generators. Renewable energy always makes power with a very low carbon footprint. However, wind and solar often generates when there is no demand. When that happens, they make superpower. Can fossil fuel generators also make superpower? Yes. That can happen if electricity is made without a demand, such as at 2 a.m. In order to produce electricity needed at 4 p.m. the next day, a coal plant must operate 24/7, even when there is often little demand at 2 a.m. Coal-fired electricity generating plants often make superpower at 2 a.m. This big electricity making machine must keep running all the time in order to give us enough electricity whenever we need it. Thus, the carbon dioxide released at 2 a.m. in a coal-fired plant is actually part of the carbon footprint of electricity sold at 4 p.m. because the machine must run at 2 a.m. so it can produce the power needed at 4 p.m. Therefore, electricity at 2 a.m. has both a very low price and a very low carbon footprint. And the coal plant often makes superpower at 2 a.m. In fact, too many fossil fuel generators make superpower at night. Bicycle analogy explains why a coal plant must make superpower on some nights. Imagine with me, we are riding bicycles and we're traveling on a very hilly road. If we don't pedal, even while we're going downhill, we may not have the speed we need to make it up the next hill. In the same way, at 4 p.m. every day, a coal plant must make a lot of electricity. But to do that, it must run at full speed at 2 a.m., even though there may not be any demand. In that case, the coal plant is making superpower. The bicycle analogy also describes how we can save and slow climate change by buying cheaper electricity. This is how CLEP works. CLEP raises and lowers electricity prices and tells us when we should not and when we should buy electricity. When your bicycle is traveling uphill, such as at 4 p.m., electricity is priced higher because of high demand. At 2 a.m., electricity is priced lower because there is less demand. That's when generators often make superpower. This snapshot of Louisiana's wholesale electricity market at 7 p.m. corresponds to 4 p.m. on the bicycle analogy, the hardest time to bike uphill. 7 p.m. electricity prices are high because there is so much demand. So generators sell at higher prices and use expensive fossil fuels, which makes dirty electricity. Look at the Louisiana hub in the lower right-hand corner, and you can see the electricity price is at $20.36 per megawatt hour, which is greater than 2 cents per kilowatt hour. This is more than 10 times the price found in the next slide. So, later that night, at 4 a.m., wholesale electricity is cleaner, and because there is much less demand, it is less expensive. In other words, superpower. It contains a lot of free wind power and sells at less than 10% of the afternoon price. This slide is like going full speed downhill at 2 a.m. in the bicycle analogy. At the Louisiana hub, you can see the price is $1.75 per megawatt hour, which is less than 0.2 of a cent per kilowatt hour. Before CLEP, electricity prices were constant. But with CLEP, a customer can buy electricity cheaper at some times than at others. Because they have a choice, and without any inconvenience, a CLEP customer can lower her $1,500 a year electricity bill by more than $900 a year, and cut her carbon footprint as much. Now I will show you how this is done with 2 appliances and a community solar operation. So you program your dishwasher to run at 2 a.m. and you can save yourself $50 a year. With $50, you can install a timer that can be programmed to run your water heater between 2 to 6 a.m. and save yourself a whopping $185 a year. A community solar farm is established when various parties each own or rent a section of a very large array of solar panels. This arrangement lowers the cost per kilowatts and makes solar power available to many more people, many of whom cannot afford or have access to a roof needed for rooftop solar. Rent 5 kilowatts in a community farm and save a massive $700 a year off your electric bill. CLEP is promoted by a nonprofit organization named Pro-Rate Energy. To learn more about CLEP or how you can help, email myroncats@energyradar.com. Let's get CLEP adopted in New Orleans. I'm a CLEP maniac, and I'm asking you to join me and share this video and spread the word. Thank you.
You can spread the word and you can share that video, because after services are over today, there will be a link to the video that you can watch anytime. And we'll be showing it again tomorrow during the Kiddush luncheon. And we're going to take care of these things quickly. Is there anything else you want to tell us about this? Anybody have any questions for her? Unplug and shift. Voila. See that? Poof. And then we save that for later at night. We should have shown that like at 4 in the morning. Watch it at 4 in the morning. That's the lesson I've learned. We continue on page 148. Please rise. Sorry? Mic? Her mic on, Max? Page 148. Please rise when the Ark is open.
Shoot, I have to get there. Okay.
Keep pushing, push. Thank you. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגוי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שמחקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You spread out the heavens and establish the earth. You are God, there is none else. In truth, you alone are our sovereign God, as it is written. Know then this day and take it to heart. The Eternal One is God in the heavens above and on the earth below. There is none else. Eternal God, we face the morrow with hope made stronger by the vision of your deliverance. A world where poverty and war are banished, where injustice and hate are gone. Teach us more and more to respond to the pain of others, to heed your call for justice, that we may bring nearer the day when all the world shall be one. On that day, the age-old dream shall come true. On that day, O God, you shall be one, and your name shall be one. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. You're done. You can go sit.
Oh, I'm done. Okay.
I got this part. She's taken over the whole service, but I told her I've got this part. At this point in our service, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth. We continue on page 151. Our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We think right now also of those people who died this past week in the tornadoes and in the windstorms. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. Please turn to page 153. Life is finite. Like a candle, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty, then it fades. Its substance is consumed and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down in gutters. There's an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. We remember these congregants' parents who died within the past year. We remember George Rothkopf, Henry Brenner, Ron Riley, and Fred Phillips. And as we remember those who died at this season in years past, we take them into our hearts with our own. Those for whom we've been observing yortzites this week include Libby Bliss Abramson, Ross Stewart Offertig, Marks Bluestein, Z. Branis, Pearl G. Dover, Jules Henry Dreyfus, William R. T. Ellis, David Felsenthal, Charles G. Friedenthal, Valerie Crandall Gold, Leslie Gruber, Mary H. Grunis, Bertha Kassoff, Solomon Lipo, Caro W. Levy, Helen L. Levy, Herbert Loeb, Carol Steiner Rubenstein, Lottie Feld-Selber, Louise Shaven, Sam Sklar, Jewel M. Sorkin, Jacob Jack Stein, Sonia Grunis Sorenko, Alexander W. Tech, Sylvia Terrell, Sam Wiseman, Elise Willer. Since we have guests here, I don't know if anyone else has a yortzeit that they're observing, but you're invited to call them out if you have a yortzeit that you're observing or an immediate relative who died during the past 30 days or a parent who died this past year. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. The Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 154. The translation is on 155. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'a gala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Please be seated. Please turn to page 159 as we sing a closing hymn. Come on up and help. Yeah, Mike. Thank you. He's really good. Thank you, Max. Page 159. Sing with us. Pick a key.
I don't care.
Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemolkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mi Keloheinu, Mi Kadonenu, Mi Kemolkeinu, Mi Kemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Please rise for the closing benediction.
Oh, I get to do this. I get to do this.
You could help me. Come here. Get ready. And don't forget them who are watching online too. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face be lifted up to you. May God grant you peace. Shabbat shalom. We hope to see you in the morning. In half an hour, I'll be on Zoom for our Oneg Shabbat. Wait, great job. Great job.
I can save that for tomorrow.
What?
I can save that one for
Save
tomorrow.
that for tomorrow. Good idea. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of tap dancing to get that video on.
Or not, that's fun too.